Of all the areas of life impacted by the coronavirus pandemic, schools often bore the brunt of it. School buildings closed within days or weeks of the first reported COVID cases, and many didn't reopen for months. Parents and caregivers suddenly had to balance keeping their families safe and keeping them happy. They had to choose between going to work or leaving their children at home alone. Amid the chaos, educators rushed to meet the needs of their most vulnerable students, especially the ones hit hardest by the pandemic. Schools sent meals to neighborhoods on buses, parents rushed to pick up laptops or learning packets, teachers held drive-through graduations and end-of-the-year parades, and most of the summer of 2020 was spent figuring out how to reopen schools safely. Covering education during the pandemic was different than what I had ever imagined covering education would look like. Suddenly, I didn't have access to schools, but instead was meeting with teachers over Zoom or meeting with kids and their parents at their homes while they were grappling with remote learning. I think a lot of people didn't realize what services schools provided to students and families and how integral they are to everyday life for most young adults. Between making sure that kids' mental health is okay, making sure kids are eating, they're safe, they have coats, they have shoes. A lot of that was kind of missing during the pandemic. It wasn't just academic learning that people began to worry about, but the actual safety and well-being of students became a concern. Educators and students really showed us how creative, innovative, and often resilient they are. I think that schools will find new ways to meet these challenges. Some schools are only just now reopening, so it'll be interesting to see if they're able to do that successful and if kids are learning successfully in these environments.